Oh, this is what's his name?
Christopher. Yeah.
Christopher. So he will be the one who is actually helping us lah.
Yes, correct.
If you're actually selected lah. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So I am here together with my research director, Casey. Also, maybe I know.
Hi. So you guys are in Casey's office, huh?
Yeah, correct. So using one account, so we are sitting side by side.
Okay, don't worry. We will not tell people that you're not wearing masks and safe distancing.
Actually, this one is yeah. Okay.
Yeah, don't worry.
Right.
Yeah, we won't use it to threaten you to get discount from you. Don't worry also, but that's a good idea.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So today I want to run through a few things particular to service management. And we want to actually engage with Christopher. Why? Because we recognize that, okay, I'm going to off my video so that I can focus on this one. We recognize that the person that's going to walk through us, journey with us during this 3-4 months implementation is Christopher. He's the main line of defense. You might have Casey, you might have Desmond, but Christopher is the one that's going to understand us. And it's a very frightening journey for us because we went through the journey 7 years ago. It wasn't done right and we suffered for 7 years. So all the people attending here have went through the painful process of doing a lot of things manually, workarounds because of that process not done properly then. So we wanted to make sure you're comfortable. Actually, at the end of the session, right, our very scientific way of evaluating each vendor is after you leave the room, we ask each other, is Christopher someone you're comfortable working with? Actually, it boils down to that, really. There's no matrix. And if people feel that, yes, we're comfortable, okay, I think that's good to go. If people are not comfortable, then, you know, that's not good to go.
Okay.
You understand? So we're almost like going for a hiking journey to some unfamiliar ground, and we're looking for a guide to bring us through the whole hiking journey. If I can use an analogy. Okay, so now going to the specific things is that, first of all, I read about these two things about so-called service management as well. I mean, general in MS in BC. So could you tell us Power Apps for customization and the flow for workflow? Could you elaborate a bit on us for this?
Okay.
I know it's not called Power Project, but let us know what is it, and you know, it's something that we can consider subsequently.
The first one.
Customization. Have anything to? Okay, now for Power. Okay, for Power Apps, right? I think, to be frank, we are not really going to deep for this Power App customization.
Actually, Desmond, can we hear from Christopher?
Okay, can. No problem. We don't then maybe let him know. Yeah.
Okay, the Power Apps is a mobile platform, right? But actually, we are not using that because we have our own mobile platform.
So it's the reason for not using Power is because your mobile platform is more customized and so on.
Platform.
Okay, but does the Power Apps, do they have a Power Apps that does similar to what your enterprise service module does?
Yeah, it's the same, but it's more simplified.
Oh, theirs is more simplified.
Yes.
And would you be able to share with us what's their costing structure for their mobile platform?
I think for consultant, we work on the pricing structure. I think more commercial will be the sales side.
Sure. Yeah. So while we like your enterprise structure, we also want to justify why we're choosing your mobile platform, because there's another Power App also for the service management. We just want to, for due diligence, look at the pricing as well.
Okay.
So next thing is that there's a flow for workflow. That's how they so-called configure workflow in MS Dynamics, right?
Right. And
for us, we are a fairly simple company. So the customization of workflow, is it part of the scope of the project?
Yeah, it's part of the, we can configure the workflow.
Okay. So I guess the workflow, whenever I route for somebody to do review, so-called things, they will send a trigger email. They can click on email to directly access BC and do the transaction accordingly.
Yeah. So what happened is when we configure the workflow, right, it was sent to the approver. Yeah. Okay, so the system will send an email notification to the approver, but there's a link in the email notification. They can click and then it will open up BC.
Okay. Okay, then I also learned that service management really centers around this thing called the service item.
Yes.
It revolves around this key thing called service item. So one sales order can have one or more service item.
Yes, correct.
Okay, could you maybe just elaborate to my team about service items so we can understand this better?
Okay, the service item, right? Okay, let's say when you have a sales order, okay, the service item can be linked to the item that we are selling. So when we create a sales order and we post, right, system will automatically create a service item. Okay, so these are the items that we are servicing.
Okay.
Okay, so it will be linked, and each system can also create the service item, and then from there, right, we can set up the service contract.
Yeah. Okay, so this is one thing that could you demo to us later on in this discussion? We want to see, so the process is that we will do a sales quotation.
Yes.
That will lead to a sales order, which is very standard.
Okay.
Then from sales order, we have a GRN.
Okay.
Is that called GRN in
It's a
DC?
shipment.
Shipment.
Yes, it's
then shipment. Then after shipment, then how do we jump from shipment to service item creation?
Yes.
Okay, so the process: sales quotation, then sales order,
and
shipment.
then shipment.
It's just called shipment, is it?
Yes.
Then we call service item already lah.
Yes, it will create a service item.
Is it an automatic thing, or do I have to so-called key in the information again? Because I understand that the first three steps are actually in more the essential, and then service item is actually in that service management.
Correct.
So do you need to create another thing from shipment to service item in the so-called service management module?
Sorry, again?
Service item is in service management module, whereas the rest of the first three are actually in another module.
Yes, in the sales module.
So, okay, maybe later on you show us how you go from shipment to creating service item.
Okay.
There's
Actually, the service item is like a master. So you have an item, you have a service item. So service item is the one that we are selecting in the service order. Okay, so in the sales module, there's a service order. You are selecting item. But in the service management module, there's a service order, and you are selecting service item.
So of course, you know that we're not just creating service item standalone, and also subsequent so-called processes lah. Yeah. Because service item is something we shall also talk about. There's this thing called resource skills inside that. Could you elaborate on this part? Okay,
the resource skills is like we are linking the technician skills, so that when we create a service item, right, we know which resource to select. So it's like we are putting like a specialized skills in the service item. It's like a master also. Okay, so when we create a service order, when we select the resource, right, we should be able to tell which resource to select because of the skills. So system will suggest the list of the resource.
Because some of the skills require certification or licensing, where there's a validity period, can the system also help me track the validity period?
Yeah. The validity period we have to customize, because right now we can only identify which are the skills that is applicable to this service item. So if let's say we want to add a validity, right, then we have to customize maybe one column or two columns for the validity from and to.
Okay. So
and then
if
from there, the user, right, they should be able to select which resource to select.
Yeah, so assume that if we have the validity period, then we can generate a report on a monthly basis to see which of the licenses or certificates require renewal.
Yeah, we can do that with a report.
Okay. And generate, check. Okay.
Item yes, which item?
So can I say that, for example, this particular equipment require so-called the technician to so-called have certificate A to do it. So only those with certificate A can do this particular job. So when I do a resource skills and the resource skills is tied to this particular equipment, only those technician trained in resource skills can do this job when I assign the technician.
Okay, because the selection of the resource, right, is manual. So system will only tell you that these are the resources with the required skills. But when it comes to the selection, right, user still need to pick the resource.
Okay. So you can also share with us, show with us this part here.
Okay.
So
sure.
if you helpful, if you jot down some of these things, so you can start mentally preparing to show us the thing.
Okay. So we'll give you a demo on the resource, but without the validity of the certificate.
Of course, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Because that's customization.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell us what does a service contract do?
Okay, the service contract is like we are creating a contract for the service item. So in there we are selecting the service item, right? And then the validity and how much we need to invoice. Okay, and then when it comes to the service order from the service contract, right, we should be able to identify which are the service contract that is due for servicing. So when we run the batch job, right, system will automatically create a service order.
So service, just a service order is an ad hoc thing. A contract is something that has a certain time period. And within the time period, you may offer certain rates, certain discount.
Correct. So it's like a maintenance contract for the customer.
It may contain certain budget, or it can contain certain prescribed hours as well. Then that means that we can generate on a periodic basis how much of the so-called budget or resources has been consumed. Can we do that?
Great. Okay. Service discount. Okay. Hours can contain multiple service item line. Correct. Use to generate the invoice can be prepaid or postpaid. Yeah. So you're asking about the budget.
I'm asking for two things because one is that the contract could be based on certain, it's all basically based on resource, based on budget. So the budget consists of either spare parts or so-called labor hours. Am I able to generate a report to say for the service contract, how much of the, can I see quickly how many % of the budget have been used up periodically?
Budget for the service contract. So it's like our job budget. So they want to see the budget and how much is utilized.
So let's say, for example, I sign a contract with your company. I offer you PC maintenance services, and the contract is, let's say, $20,000 for a year. So every month, I want to generate a report to see how much of this 20,000 budget have you used up. What's the balance? Sorry, let me reshape this a little bit.
This one,
David.
This one we have to check.
No, if let's say
we have customized this before.
No, if let's say this is the case, we can just use whatever how much they have spent, then tag to it. Okay, it's a customized report.
When we want to do this, we are putting statistics in the service contract.
Okay.
The thing is, a service contract is like a document. It will be eventually be deleted.
Document, so you need to have a statistic customized there that they can keep track. Okay, maybe we can advise them maybe the customization when they're done.
Yeah, I have to check with this whether we have done the customization. Let me call Tracy. Sorry, let me call Tracy first.
Yeah,
it's okay. No problem.
We have a short talk just now. I think they have done one or two for the customers for this. They need statistics thing. Yeah, let me confirm first.
Yeah. Actually, Desmond, we appreciate you actually looking at this because just to share with you, those consultants that give us a quick answer, we're not very impressed with them. because it tends to be the wrong answer.
But you don't worry. I think Christopher, the reverse is about 9-10 years already. He's a very senior consultant.
We also, I don't know whether you responded in your email, but how many service management so-called implementation has he done?
Project. I think later, let me talk to Christopher.
Okay.
Maybe I have to tell how many projects you have been implemented for related to service management. What is they have service, right?
Yeah, they have a service. Then the recent also have a service.
Project.
Maybe about
5, 6, 7 projects. Yeah. Roughly about 7 projects implemented.
For service management?
They have service management because some customers, they are really big, they are manufacturing, but then they have their own internal service management also. Yeah.
Okay.
the service contract. They want to be able to trace how much is the budget and what is the actual utilization, like consumption of the actual cost.
We can capture the actual transactions. Now I can give the actual value. Of course, budget is a contract sum. In the sense budget, you say budget is a contract sum. Say this, I don't know what. I say, for example, in my contract sum is 10,000, right? So as long as I spend 10,000, I'm making money, right? If I spend outside, I spend on the 10,000, I make money.
Contract sum only, right? Then how about the cost? Because they want to be able to capture the spare parts also.
In the contract, I can see all the transactions related to this contract, right? I can see be it resource or be it spare part is all there. So I mean the data is there, just how
So the actual cost,
how you want to present
budget based on the expense.
But now I don't have is as long as what's your purpose? I say your purpose is to make sure contract no money, then contract sum is number. Of course, we also can do if you want, of course, I can key in also I can create a few more fields, but your contract what is your cost, then you just do a comparison. They are not going to say this item budget 10,000, this budget 2,000. It's not
line by line.
It's not detailed. So detail is an issue because I need to have all the budget.
So if let's say based on lump sum is just additional field to do comparison, customization.
Yeah, this is anything is not a problem. Then that's what we need to present how we other effort.
Okay. All right. David.
So what Casey is saying that we in the service contract, right, we can put the contract sum and all the budgeted costs. Let's say you have a spare part that you need to attach to the service contract, right? So we can put it there, and then we can use a report to compare the budgeted and the actual.
Would that be customization effort, or is it out of the box?
Yeah, it's going to be a customization.
Okay.
So it's either a report level, or we can put the statistics in the service contract, so the user can just drill down the statistics.
Okay, so I think in the discussion, let me cover two things. One is there's internal resource, which is my internal manpower cost, my internal parts, and all the overheads. Then there's also the external budget. So when, let's say, my example, I sign a contract with your company to give you PC support services for $20,000 a year, that's the external cost. But internally, I also find out what's my so-called manpower efforts and resources, all these things used. So can the service contract monitor both internal resource and external budget?
Yeah, that is what we are going to customize, right?
So they require customization.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Next question is that I see that there's fault code, fault area code, resolution code, and so on. So my question is that can I put in checklist under fault code? Let me elaborate on that. I may have maybe 10 equipment types. Each of them has certain checklist items. The checklist item, an entry would be something, then it could be yes, no, or pass, fail, followed by a free text for me to put in certain readings or certain comments, as well as putting some picture along the way.
Yeah.
So is this currently part of PC?
Okay, the checklist is also, because if you want to link it to the fault code, right, then it's going to be customized.
Okay, but so back to Desmond's presentation last week, Desmond showed us this checklist done in the mobile app. So can I say that the customization is already built in your solution you're offering us?
Yes, this one, the fault code, all this we based on the tick one, the one. Yeah. Yes, it's inside already.
Okay, so let me elaborate. In the sense that what we see on your mobile app is already we saw the checklist there. Internally, you will figure out how to integrate with the BC on, but on our side, let's say we have 10 equipment types with 10 checklists. So for us to put in 10 checklists, let's say every checklist maybe about 20 different line items. Would there be additional costs for what you quoted us, or is it part of the contract?
I think this one I have to understand more details. Okay, some customer, let's say you have a lot of different checklists, right? It's either, let's say the checklist is 50, for example. I can put everything 50 there, just because this for me is one. It's a one job. They can choose whatever is related for them. But if let's say for different service you want to see different checklists, right? This one I think will be extra effort for us.
Because currently our checklist, right, is linked to the service item.
Yeah.
So if you want to link it to the fault code, right, then the linkage will be more, because we have to identify the service item first, and then the fault code, and then we provide you with a checklist. So it's like a combination of the service item plus the fault code.
Yeah. So Desmond, what you're saying is that the current contract actually caters for one comprehensive checklist.
Yeah. Yes.
Correct. Our checklist right now is based on the service item.
You have how many checklists? You have about 10 checklists.
As I said right now, we haven't gone into great detail because it's currently all manual.
Okay.
And some of our current checklists could be merged together, but our preliminary discussion, we have about maybe 10 checklists, and each checklist has about 20 line items. I mean, of course, I'm budgeting on the high side, but I'll be talking with my staff this week to look into the thing in detail and find out. But let's work on 10 checklists times 20 line item.
10 checklists. Each checklist have 20 line item.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Can take one.
Next one is that I can the dispatch board is where I will dispatch the staff to the respective jobs, correct?
This is where you select the skilled resource.
Okay, but before that, what's the function I use to schedule staff for maybe a job 2 weeks ahead? Is it dispatch board as well?
Yeah, this one is done in the dispatch board also.
Okay, so for plan and so-called ad hoc staff allocation, manpower allocation, assignment.
You can assign the spare parts also right in here in the dispatch board. From there you can put the service work.
Okay. Now, I think we've run through enough. So maybe could you demonstrate to us the whole cycle? I think maybe you can start from sales order, shipment, and how you go from there to a service item, number one. And number two is you can share with us, let me see, the linking of the resource skills. Yeah. You can, I think you have permission to share the screen now. Check. Yeah, you can share screen. I will unshare now.
During shipment. Yeah. So sales code, sales order, during shipment, auto create the service item, create the service contract, create the service order, and put in the skills. So I told them that the skills, right, for every resource, but without the validity. Validity is a customized field.
That's fine. Sure. Share us whatever is out of the box.
The required resource only.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
You give 1 minute because this is my laptop. I don't have the environment. You give
No
me.
problem. Okay,
some
guys,
more.
let's maybe take a 5 minutes break because we're about half an hour into this. Let's come back 5 minutes later.
Okay, can.
Thanks. Okay, thanks. Hey, Kaki, are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay, so just to align with you for our plan this week, so we have a session with Rowena tomorrow at 2 o'clock, followed by a boot camp at 3 o'clock.
Tomorrow is 3 o'clock.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Tomorrow is 3 o'clock, not 2 o'clock.
I thought you mentioned there's also
Yeah,
Rowena is.
I wrote there 3 to 4, then 4 to 5 is the
3 to 4, 4 to 5. Okay.
Yeah, correct.
So Rowena is 3 o'clock, then the boot camp is 4 to 5 lah.
Yeah.
Can, good. So just want to synchronize with that one, which works out much better. It's not so squeezed. So that's it for this week lah.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe after today's session, we have a quick so-called review. Right after this,
okay.
we should maybe end about like 11:30, a quick review, then we see what's the direction ahead lah.
Okay.
Yeah. So for today, I'm actually going a bit more to the service module because you'll be hearing the same question. I'm also bored of asking the same question. So I thought of going a bit more different, then we can actually learn the process as well.
Sure.
I've been doing some reading in service module over the weekend. So,
Okay.
yeah. So see you back in a few minutes time. Okay, Desmond, when you're ready, you can just share the screen, then we know that you're ready.
Sorry, I think Christopher is checking on the data because it's a demo environment. So maybe we'll come back when he's ready. Can just
So when he's ready, you just share screen, then we know you're ready. And then just make some noise. We'll come to the computer.
Okay, he will be joining the Zoom meeting. Maybe allow him to join in.
Can sure. I mean, there's no waiting room, so as long as you got the link, you can go in now.
Okay. Oh, okay. Can.
Okay. So wait for him. Then when he come in, just say something. Then we come back to the computer.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Oh,
Hello, yes.
can you all hear? Can you see the screen?
I can see your screen. I can hear. Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, so Christopher is going to show is okay. We're using NAV environment. So sorry because we have more data in this environment.
NAV
218.
is the client server environment, not the web-based environment, is it?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So,
Actually, can I ask, is the NAV and the BC environment almost identical?
the UI UX is a bit different, but the functionality is the same.
Okay, sure.
So we have more data for this. That's why we can show you more. That's why we use this environment. Okay. Christopher, you can. Yeah. Can you hear Christopher?
Not so well. I think you can't hear also.
You off your mic. Okay.
If, let's say I go to the item, in here, I have to choose which item is linked to the service item because we want the system to auto create the service item. Okay, so if I, let's say I filter the item by service item group. Okay, so I'll filter by desktop. Okay, so these are the so this one is item list. So these are the item that is linked with the service item group. Okay, so the service item group is the one that is triggering the auto creation. Okay, so if I go to one of the item, I'll click edit and then look at the service item group. Okay, so this is my main item and this is the service item group. So if I drill down from here, okay, so this is the one that is triggering the auto creation of service item. Okay, so you can column right, there's a create service item.
Are you saying that by doing this, every time I receive a shipment of the PC, service item is created automatically?
Yes. So every time you post the shipment, right, system will auto create the service item.
Okay, great. Thanks. So you're saying that by this, I'm able to differentiate among all the items, all the inventory I have, only some are service items, some are non-service items.
Yes, correct.
Excellent.
So by linking the service item group, right, you should be able to tell which item is linked to the service item or linked to the service and which item is like a normal item.
Okay, thanks. So,
and then in the service item group, you should be able to tell which one is auto-created and which one is manually created. Okay, like you see the CD-ROM. CD-ROM is manually created because the column is not ticked.
So manually created means not all CD-ROM becomes service item, only some become service items.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Okay, so let me just brief my group a little bit. So this service item concept is that we receive all the items. So a lot of the spare parts that we currently keep inventory, we may not create a service item because they are not the end product. So we will need to discuss internally how we define a service item, because then everything is tagged around the service item whether it's the entire set of equipment or you break it down into a few of the key components, but definitely not the individual parts and so on. So this is a very important concept for us to build. Okay, sorry, back to you, Christopher.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to choose this item 80001. Okay, so in here I'm going to create a sales code. So on my navigation pane, I have a sales code. Okay, so I will click, and then from the ribbon, I will click new. Okay, and then in here I will select the customer. Okay, so this one I'm creating a sales code. Okay, so I'm giving a quotation to the customer. Okay, so can I create a document? So I'll choose click edit. I will remove the block. Okay. Choose this item. Okay. So you have to select the customer, and then in the type, I will choose item, and I will choose 80001. Okay, so this is the item that I'm going to quote to the customer. Okay, so I'm putting quantity 1, and then the unit price. Okay, so this one is taking from the item. Okay, so I'll assume that it's 37. Okay, then from here I will click. So once the quotation is accepted by the customer, so I will click make order in order to create the sales order. So this one is I will click no. Yes, and then the code is converted to 1014. We want to open, click yes. So once it is created, the sales code will be deleted and the sales order will be created. Okay, so this is the sales order. Okay, so sales order is 1014. Okay, so in here, once I post the shipment, system will automatically create the service item. So let's check the service item. So I'll go to the service item list. Okay, so this is the list of my service item. The last number is 41. Okay, so it's a running number. So my last number here is 41. So when I post my sales order, so I'll post ship and then click OK. Okay, so if I go back to my service item, it should create the service item 42.
Also, that's like the serial number lah.
Yeah, service item
Okay.
can be serialized, but if you want the system to auto create it must be serialized. So the number series must be there.
So we can either put in the unique serial number or we can get the system to auto-generate a following number lah.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Okay, so the service item is created upon shipment. Okay, and then from here, if I check my service item card, okay, so I can put in the component. Okay, I can put in the required skills also. So this is where we are selecting the skills, the resource. Okay, so in here, the skilled resource, okay, you can see that the skills in here is tick. Okay, so that means this is the best resource that can handle this service item. Okay, so if I visit my resource card, that is where we are putting the skills. Okay, so if I go to the resource, okay, so these are all our technicians. So if I go to Linda and then click edit, okay, so the skills is linked to here. So earlier you are saying that you have a validity, we can put it here. Okay, so these are the skill code. If I go to advanced, this is the skill code A. Okay, and then we can put the validity. So the skill code we can attach to the resource.
Okay. So one question, because the license for us, the license and certification could come from different organizations.
Okay.
Are we able to also put in another field for organization?
Yeah.
So that we know.
The column.
Yeah. So we know then. So that we will know for this organization, you know, what are the so-called licenses that need to renew on a periodic basis. And then Desmond, if you're listening, could you after this also help us to tabulate what is the cost of this customization?
Okay. Okay. So just now you mentioned about the checklist also, right? In our customization, because
before you go to checklist, I want to go back to resource again. So the resource is actually, what's the relationship? Is it linking from the service item to the persons or service item to the particular skill, which is part of the particular person? What's the relationship?
Okay, the skills you have to link to the resource. And then in the service item, right, if you look at the resource, because the resource you have to select in the dispatch board. Okay, so in here, right, the resource here, it will just tell you that this service item requires a special skills.
Okay, so because I already indicated this skill is required, so when I click on skilled resources, only the names of people with this skill will appear.
Okay, right now it's no. System will still list down all the list of the resource, but there's a first column, right? It will show you that it's a skill.
Okay.
So based on the skills that you link to the service item, right, system will give you a list that will show you these are all my resource, but these are the skilled resource.
Okay, so it's helpful because I can have one person who's skilled and another one person who's not skilled to perform the job. Okay, great. Yeah.
Okay, so from here, after I create the service item, I can go to the service contract. Okay, service contract. Okay, so in here, so these are my list of service contracts, and then from here I can create new. Okay, so I have a same as the sales order, right? You have a header and you have a line. So in the line, you can select multiple service item in one service contract. So in here, I will let the system assign the service contract number. Okay, so I'll choose this. Okay, and then the customer, I will choose the same customer, 10,000. Expand the time. Okay, so in here, I will select the service item that we have created just now. So 42, and then the contract amount will be here. Okay, so whether it's a prepaid or postpaid, right, is under invoicing. Under invoice here. Okay, so under the invoice detail, okay, so this is where you indicate whether it's a prepaid or postpaid. Okay, and then the billing period will be here. Okay, so invoice period, you have a monthly, 2 months, quarter, half year, or you won't invoice this service contract. Okay, so there's also an option here to select none. Okay, and then the invoice date is here. Okay. So in here, the next plan service date is on 6/9/2021. So this is our service contract. So once it is signed, we can change the status to sign. Okay, so there's an action here to sign the contract. Okay, so I'll change this to sign.
Sorry to interrupt. Back to your service time. You're saying that I can also set the periodic time when the servicing to be done. Can it be done both on a calendar basis or number of days after the last servicing?
Next service. Okay, the service period right now is by default is 3 months because I selected a template. So the service period is every 3 months. So every 3 months will run when you close the last service order. Okay, so initially system will create from the date of creation of the contract, 3 months after.
Okay, but let's say I'm supposed to do a servicing 3 months from now, which is in January, but for some reasons I can only do it in February. So will the next one be 3 months after my February servicing?
Based on the last service.
Yeah, it's based on the last service order.
Based on the last actual servicing. Okay, yes. Good, thanks.
Okay, so this one is 3 months after. So the next service date is on the 6th, June 9. Okay, June 9. Okay, so I will change this to sign. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, so the next one is I will create a service order. So under the service module, there's a task. There's a function here to create a service order. Okay, but first I have to change the date. Okay, so I'll create a service order. Okay, so this one is a batch job to create all the service order based on the service contract. Okay, so yeah,
so you go through all the existing service contract and based on the schedule, create the respective service orders.
Yes.
Ah, cool.
Okay.
Well, my project team are getting very excited looking at all these things because they're doing everything manually currently.
Okay. So in here, I will okay, and system will tell you that one service order is created. So based on the date that I put in, system will create one service. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this is my service order.
Okay, we're losing your voice a little bit, Christopher.
Okay, so I'm going to show the following resolution. Okay, so this is our service order. So you have a header and you have a line. So in here you have a response date. So this one is automatically set by the system. Okay, so you have a response date and you have a response time.
Sorry, back to Desmond. Is the one you show us on the mobile app, is it a service order or service report?
The report, which screen I show you? Which one you mentioned about?
Actually, the main screen where all the technicians put in all their
The service order. There is a service order.
That's service order. So it's actually a subset of this current service order that we see lah.
Yeah, correct.
Plus, he has more information that we don't see so visibly now lah.
Yeah, correct. You're right.
Okay. All right. Now, of course, in the solution, if I use the enterprise app, then when I go back to the web-based application, I can also see all the checklist items.
Yep, you're right.
Okay. Okay, we're not listening. We're not hearing Christopher clearly, Desmond.
Can you hear now?
Tiambo le.
Tiambo.
Yeah, you also can. You also cannot hear, right?
I can. We can hear you clearly.
No,
hello?
I can't. I can't hear Christopher.
Can you hear now?
I can hear you loud and clear. Yes.
Oh, okay.
And we will run a batch job to create a service order. So once the service order is created, right, that's the only time system. After we create a service order, the planner will go to the dispatch board and assign the resource. Okay, so once we assign the resource, right, that's the only time they will see the service order in the mobile.
Can you show us how you go to the dispatch board to assign the resource?
Okay. So, this one is the service order, right? Service order is already created. So I can go to the search and then go to the dispatch board.
Okay.
Then from here, right, my new service order will be listed here.
All right.
Okay, and then I can do a resource allocation.
Okay.
Okay, so I will select the service order and I will click resource allocation. And then from here, I can select which resource I want to assign to the service order. So based on the resource that we assign, right, let's say we assign the resource to the service order, the technicians, when they go to the mobile, right, they should be able to see the service order that is assigned to them. Okay, so they won't see all the service order. They will only see the specific service order that is assigned to them.
Understand. So the resource can either be machine or persons, mainly these two types, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so in here I will plan, let's say I will plan them to do the servicing on the 23rd, and then I will allocate how many hours they need to do. Okay, so I will plan this resource on this day and with this timing, with this number of hours. Okay. Okay, so this is the service order. Okay, and then from here, I can assign the spare parts. Okay, so if I go to the service item worksheet, in here I can assign the spare parts that is needed. Okay, in here I can choose the item. Choose this item. I have to put in the quantity. Okay, and this will be the price. So if this is going to be billable, right, this will be the price. Okay. So in here the fault code is here and the resolution code is here. So from the mobile, right, they will go and access the fault code. So from there, they will choose what is the fault code. And then once they choose, right, when they submit, it will go back to.
So the mobile, all the different line items for the checklist is tied to the fault code, am I right?
Yes, correct. Right now, in our design, right, the checklist is attached to the service item. But in your customization, right, it will be attached to the fault code plus the service item. So
well, it's not really, it's not really my customization, but it's the solution that you're offering, which is really part of the thing. Okay, great.
Correct. So instead of putting it in the service item, we will put it in the fault code plus the service item. So there will be a matrix.
Sure.
Okay. So in here,
data. Yeah. No, show already. Sure. Delivery. David.
Yes.
For the servicing, most of the time is you have to take back the item, or you
We do it on site most of the time, 90% of the time.
Okay.
Because all those things are installed on site. Okay, is Christopher saying something because we hear some muffled sound in the background?
And yes, now?
Not yet.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, now can.
Okay. So so the workflow, normally what we suggest to the customer is that they have to do a 2 visit if it's on site. So the first visit is they have to assess the fault of the item. Okay. So if let's say they assess that it cannot be fixed immediately, right, they have to go back and bring back the loaner item.
Yeah, we don't really practice loaner item. No, actually, very rarely. I don't think we will activate that part.
Okay. So you won't be using the loaner.
Yeah, very unlikely.
Okay. Then the next
loaner is that we bring back a part from the customer. We loan them a temporary part.
Yes.
While we repair the part. Not very likely. Yeah.
Correct. Okay. Or if let's say they assess the fault of the service item, they have to go back and bring in the spare parts. Okay. If they don't have the spare parts with them.
Yeah.
Okay. So once we identify the spare parts that is needed, right, they have to go to the service item worksheet, and then from here they have to attach the spare parts. Okay, and then they will go on site again, and then they will do the fixing. Okay, so they will attach the solution code, and then they will submit, and then they will take the picture, and then they will sign off. Then it will flow back to PC. Okay, and then from there we can do the invoicing.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, so in here I have a post function. I can, because you didn't take back the item, right? So the only thing you can do here is to invoice.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Just on that particular pop-up, ship and invoice, ship and consume, let's say if we're only using 2 out of the 4, can I hide the other 2 function?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
So if let's say you're not using the ship, right, then we can hide the ship. We can only show you the invoice and then only the invoice.
All right. So actually, a lot of the look and feel is highly customizable.
Correct.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So resolution code, all the dropdown is also customized, also configurable.
Yes, this one you can configure.
Okay, great. Any other things you want to show us around here that, in service module, continuing from your story that you haven't shown us yet?
Service contract, service order.
Have we pretty much covered the core of the service module?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So maybe I turn the time now to so-called Wiwa and the team. Any questions from your side so far? Maybe we can discuss it over the next 10 minutes or so without going too deep. Otherwise, Crystal will end up doing the whole training for us already. But any questions so far apart from what we discussed?
Yeah. Any question?
I have no question at the moment.
So
Rowena,
Christopher, oh,
yeah.
sorry.
Okay. Yep. I think Chipeng, you can continue.
Okay, so Rowena, some of these things could be quite new to you. I will discuss in detail tomorrow when we meet up at 3 o'clock. Yeah. So Christopher, I noticed your CV that Desmond sent to us that you are accounting background. You had a CPA before you went into the software business. Is that right?
Correct.
So your CPA your degree and CPA was in Singapore lah.
No, it is in Philippines.
But so your CPA is in Philippines.
Yes.
Okay, good. So you have a very interesting background of being accounting by training, but now in software business lah.
Right.
Okay. Given our current context, because we mainly supply equipment and they're installed in process kind of related thing, we fix a certain thing as part of their pipes and so on. What are maybe 1 or 2 of the similar customers to what we do among your experience, or the closest that you have to our current closest customers to our requirement?
Our customer now is JB Cobra is doing the internal, right? But JB Cobra is internal. They use
We have also the one. Yes. Yeah. Hello. Can you hear?
Yes, now we can hear you. Yes.
Yeah. Maybe you can.
Okay, the service module, right? One is the JB Coco, but JB Coco is more like a internal servicing. So
Okay.
they are servicing those big machines and then those big tanks.
Yeah.
Okay, but we are also using the functionality of the service module. We have a service contract, and system will suggest the service order, and then from there we also use the mobile apps.
Okay. So going to Christopher, do you know how long the service module has been around in the Navision version? Is it like more than 10 years or so?
Yeah, this one is more than 10 years because it started from the Yes, the lower version.
Okay, so basically service management module was on Navision and now it's in BC lah.
Yeah. So when I started Navision, I thought it was in Navision 4.0, right? It was there already.
I see. So it's been around, it's been iteratively improving, that's why it's quite solid now lah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Desmond, there are three things which we need to so-called talk to you separately, which is one, the cost of customizing the 10 checklists, as well as the cost of adding the skills validity period and the certifying body. And the third is about the Power App that MS Dynamics is offering now lah, so that we can do a Apple. I mean, we can just do a due diligence comparison. Okay, Desmond.
Oh,
Yeah, now we can hear you. Just
okay,
now we
so it's done, Christopher part. Yeah. So we continue, right? I let Christopher to pick first.
Actually, we have no more things from Christopher already.
Okay, thank you.
Because
Thank you.
we want to be fair. We don't want to abuse you by having you conduct a service management training for us.
Yeah. Okay. No
Correct.
problem.
Not
okay.
correct. But we went a little bit because ultimately we at the end, like I say, when you all leave the session, we're going to discuss suddenly. Are you comfortable with Christopher? That's the key question. That's the most scientific question. Would you want to work with Christopher over the next 3 months? And we have actually about 5-6 people attending this session, so they will give their feedback and opinion lah.
Can, no problem.
And we just need to engage with Christopher enough for us to answer this question.
Okay.
But we don't want to just talk general stuff. We want to talk specific. So actually, thanks very much, Christopher, Desmond, and Casey is not here. Casey's around. Casey is here, but sharing the same line. Okay. So what we do is that we would probably want to visit you in your office as well.
Okay.
Have a face-to-face meeting. Maybe a few of us, 3 of us, come down.
Okay.
Is there a limit to the number of people that can visit you? 3 is okay, right?
Can, no problem. But you have to let me know because Christopher somehow maybe sometime he will be out of office.
Definitely. Because we have been doing everything virtually, it's good to see face to face. Then as a final step lah. But just to let you know, we're not meeting anyone face to face. In fact, we're only going to meet up with 2 vendors face to face.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So thanks very much. If you could exit the room, we have our own internal review. Thanks very much for your time this morning.
Okay.
Thanks, Christopher.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks.
So the you mentioned, I'll come back to you. Waiting. Okay.
Well, actually, after our discussion, after this meeting, I'll probably come back to you latest by tomorrow.
Okay, Ken, you let me know. No problem.
Can.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Hao. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, I think they are all left already. So I got Nadira, Rowena, Mas, Kaiket, Jeffrey, and Viva. So we're all here. So first, can I just ask maybe Nadira, Rowena, what was your so-called gain? What do you learn and what do you feel about, whether you can work with Christopher? Are you comfortable working with him? Sorry. Maybe Rowena first.
For me, I think he's fine. I think I'm a bit lost halfway through because for the service contract is okay, and I think just now he mentioned something about loaner.
That's not applicable to us, right?
I'm not really sure what this loaner what can
that means is to
us.
lend when we bring. That means we bring equipment back from the customer, but we lend them something temporary to use first while we repair their equipment.
Sometimes we do it this way. Like
okay.
Sometimes,
Can.
So maybe we can also explore on that.
Sure, definitely. But that one is a minority lah. But we definitely maybe it's there already. We just activate the function.
Yeah, but maybe I think we still need more information on how this service, because I'm still quite lost.
Can, because I spent Sunday researching over this service module in detail. I will send some link to you via Kaiket shortly.
Okay.
There are 3 videos. 2 very short one, like less than 10 minutes. The third one is a bit longer, and they give quite a bit of information. Plus, I think what Christopher explained today is quite useful. So.
Okay, can.
Okay. Yeah. So how about Nadira? Are you comfortable working with someone like Christopher?
Okay, so Basically, I am pleased that they are able to include the service contract, resource skills, and etc. Definitely something that will be useful for the service team.
Yeah.
However, for Christopher, explanation didn't really convince me because I think I'm still a bit lost, similar like what Rowena felt.
Okay, good. Thanks for your honest feedback. Really, really. I will ask you to share last because we want to hear from you what you feel first. It's important because all of us will be working with this vendor very closely. Yeah, it's a bit like choosing boyfriend girlfriend lah, but a bit like that lah. Huh? Okay, can. Now, how about Jeffrey and Mas? Anybody want to share first?
Actually, when I look at it, it's more to a service side, service module, but I believe there is a product module also, right? So
yes, it's just that we explore the product module for the other session already. So today we want to focus on something different lah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because actually, if on my area, it's more to like front end and back end, like
Yes.
invoicing, progressive invoicing. Can we do the invoice before we deliver out, like advance pay advance?
Yeah.
This is actually there more on my focus.
Yeah.
Not forget about my backlog report.
Sure. Understand. Actually, all these things has been discussed through other sessions, and I think BC can do most of them. Yeah. But how do you feel about Christopher? Do you feel comfortable working with him? Feel free to just share with us your honest opinion.
Okay, because actually very hard to say because it's not nothing like on my side, because it's more to his the service.
Understand.
Maybe
Okay.
I think the explanation also I think is not really deep enough. I mean,
okay, good.
Detailed enough. Yeah.
Can. Okay. Now, Jeffrey, haven't heard from you for a while.
Can hear me or not?
Yes, clear and clear. Yes.
Okay. My feel. Okay. Basically, I have not been attending most of the session, so
no problem. Yeah.
That is like my frankly speaking, throughout this whole session, I don't know what's going on.
Okay, good.
I base on my feel is I will assume that this is your first time.
Second time already.
Hearing from Christopher.
First time from Christopher, yes, correct.
Yes. All the while, because I managed to capture the front portion when you all discussed about all the while has been Edmund, right? Is it Edmund?
Desmond
and the rest of the team.
Casey, yeah, correct.
Yeah. So on Christopher, I will say that I can't comment much because
sure, no problem.
We don't have experience working with him, but
yeah.
But my preference is to hear the other side. I mean, there's another one with F1, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah, I'll share the video with you right after this. Through Kaikit, yeah.
It's already video down already.
Everything is video, man.
So I need to hear from F1 before I can comment.
Understand. Thanks. Wow, very systematic. But I mean, you agree with me that from a sales perspective, Desmond is doing a pretty good job.
Sales-wise, definitely, Christopher is not a sales guy.
Oh, it's not a sales guy, definitely. Yes.
On the initial touch or on the clicking portion, it's not there. So okay. I cannot comment on that. Yeah.
Sure. Okay,
it's only
thanks.
When we work together, then we will see if we can get along or anything like that.
Okay, can. So Kaikit and Viva, I want to actually talk to you about the commercial aspect as well as how do we move ahead a bit more detail. So maybe we can ask the other people to leave the room first, then we discuss internally. What do you think?
Okay,
can. So thanks everybody for attending these sessions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Okay, and then so 老板 We finished the whole process already.
Yeah.
I tell you, first of all, after I sent the rejection notice to the 3 companies,
Yeah.
immediately my phone started ringing non-stop.
Huh?
Yeah.
Your nose blocked? What do you mean? Sorry?
No. My phone started ringing non-stop.
Oh.
Yeah, because all the sales get rejected, then they must answer to their bosses, right? Especially the Winspire who keep postponing us, right?
I think Winspire know already lah, because actually it's very bad really. I don't think I want to. Also that basically maybe I'm a bit racist. Actually when I look at the Winspire, all Indians leh, leh.
No, understand. So anyway,
Yeah.
I got the first.
Prejudice a bit Indian,
yeah,
but
this was my first experience rejecting people and have them calling back for second chance.
Yeah. It's always the case because let's say for example from the sales point of view, let's say for example for me, okay, if I'm rejected, I will call you and ask you why, where did I go wrong? I say thank you so much. Then I say okay, I'll try to improve. Hopefully next time we'll have a future dealing. This is my style for me, because I wanted to know where I go wrong so that I can improve the next time. But if it's something that has been lost, you have already decided. Normally, I will not even say, "Hey, please give me another chance." No, I would just say, hey, "Where did I go wrong? Is it my pricing something wrong, or is it because maybe experience or whatever itself?" I think that is what I always do when I have any rejected sales lah.
Yeah, that's a gracious and professional way of closing that particular chapter with this customer.
But it's a good closing because you see, next time you'll remember me. You see.
Yes, that's why you're the salesperson, man. You're the consumer salesperson. Okay. So what do you think about this interaction today so far?
Okay, I actually don't feel very comfortable with Christopher. First thing, when he's not clear, I do not know is it because he wear a mask, but he's just not clear. And I was just suspecting that he's not a local, but he doesn't sound like a Filipino also. But I feel that the way he actually approached is very different from the way the other lady approached, which is a more
Gillian, right? Yeah.
Gillian is more like he's smart. I mean, she's smarter definitely. You can see she's hot.
Yes.
Okay, so she's more. She's more like before she jump into anything, she will probably ask more questions before she come to a conclusion, which I think that is the right way of actually explanation. So definitely in terms of the consultant, definitely Gillian is a better catch than Christopher in any way, because Chris, the way he talks so monotonous, very sleepy. I almost fall asleep actually. So it's really quite, I mean, even you're not a salesperson, okay, maybe for me, I'm also speaking technically. So when I speak to my customer on technical presentation, I'll also make sure that I get some attention from them. I'll ask questions, so that they don't fall asleep. I'll make a joke. Oh, hey, wow, my presentation is so, not so good that somebody actually falls asleep. Oh, that I'll call that person up.
I should invite you to be a guest speaker in sales training in Singapore Poly, man. Yeah, we can invite you to come and give sales training.
Hey, please don't.
No, because you got a lot of practical experience. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, anyway, thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, anyway, I think really Christopher, he one thing is that I feel that the whole thing was quite unorganized, and also like he wasn't so prepared. So I think, although I'm quite impressed with Desmond, to be frank, when he actually explained, no, I have to be very honest with you.
Yes.
When he actually explained on the servicing thing, I was quite interested. So he's more systematic, and at least like something like that. So I guess basically Chipping, I would actually like to have another session with Gillian and the other girl that's supposed to come in, because there's supposed to be 2 person, right? Gillian and another person.
Correct.
So it would be good for us to go a little bit more in depth on those questions. Perhaps it would be good if you can actually let them prepare all the answers from there and ask them for if they can, because you have give a list of questions, but we only start with the first one, but the rest they don't have. So if you can let them pre-prepare, that's more or less they already like, we already know that they can more or less explain better than the other side. So it'd be good to zoom in and then basically at least address, a few of our concerns.
Okay. Okay, so actually, because yesterday I spent afternoon really looking through service management,
Okay.
it's not really my scope because I don't do to the
I
solution,
know
but
that. Yeah.
but I went through it and give me a better understanding. And
Okay.
I wanted to get Christopher to show the end-to-end to help us see what it does, because we've been basically looking at bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Now for
I actually
A4,
got very confused with the whole thing actually. I was so worried also.
okay, for A4 shall we go and visit them
Yeah,
and
maybe.
do it at the office?
Yeah, okay, but maybe before that, it will be good for you to, since you already prepared the PowerPoint, why don't
Yeah.
you send them all the questions that we have and let them prepare it, and then one shot will be good.
We do it there at the location.
Yeah.
Can.
Actually, I would also like my guys, those that cannot be there, to actually go into a virtual meeting because there's a
Excellent.
meeting.
Great idea. Yeah. So they will dial in while
They
we'll be
at
there
least have
physically.
some good feel also, because you see, the thing is, even I have a very good feel,
Yeah.
doesn't mean the rest will still the same. So I need to respect the rest that actually is going to work with the consultant also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So it's an interesting journey. It's like we don't know who's the winning horse until the last moment.
Correct. Yeah.
But that's a learning experience.
Also that, yeah, it's a great learning experience. And also basically on the course, side, I really want to go through you what is your analysis, so that at least we can zoom in, because what we are going to do when we have the face-to-face meeting itself, we should give them some time to prepare it. Okay, so sometimes with the preparation, it makes a lot of difference also.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm having a session with Rowena tomorrow, by understanding a bit more of the service management scope, then I can sort of craft out those questions a bit more in detail. So maybe let's schedule for this session sometime next week.
Okay, can.
I will internally check with you and calculate about the time slot. Then I will propose something to A4. A4 is located at Commonwealth Lane, which is
so
quite
it's very
centrally
near
located.
Clementi.
Yeah, the Queenstown area and so on. So, but I will not say no to MSC first, right?
No, you don't say that first, because what actually I want to do is this. Maybe I think, David, you know what is in my mind, right?
Actually, I'm not David, I'm Chipeng, but
Chipeng, sorry, Chipeng. I don't know. You know what is on my mind actually. I am still quite hopeful about the EDG, but the other side is not so hopeful. So I really need to make a decision from there, because that's why the cost must come in quite clearly.
Sure.
I think, all right, to me itself is an EDG. I feel that the software should be included. I mean, in my opinion. So because so I want it to be a bit more open in that sense, because if it's you see, let's say if I can really get 100,000 rebate from the government support versus the 30,000, it's a lot of difference.
Of course, sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's something I want to take that calculated risk and move on, because I'm quite positive that based on because we already have an ERP in the first place, so actually there's actually good justification, because we are really moving into a more digitalization, and we also have the premium side, which is more customization. So if we have so many customization, which actually in our research during the Synergics time, we really do have a lot of customization too. So I cannot really doubt that customization will not come in. So I want this basically F1 to understand our requirement a little bit more, and we can actually also show them some of our typical service reports if they want some question from us. So that this week they can actually sort of prepare the thing, and we can give them some information of our typical information, so that at least they can prepare all the questions that is stated. Then we can go down and see them, and based on those things, we are more or less like we know what kind of course we are looking at already.
Okay, good. So I have another training session tomorrow. That'll be probably the last one, second last. So actually, I have to close this project by end of this month.
Yes, I know that.
According to timeline, but I can spill over to 1 week in November. So just to communicate.
So nice.
No, I'm very flexible.
Good, actually, I must say. I don't know whether there's a appraisal system or not, but I do not know the appraising you.
You can just write an email
to talk to Rachel now.
You can talk to Rachel.
Yeah, Rachel is she's a salesperson. Definitely.
Salesperson, yeah. Correct.
she per se.
And like I said, there's another add-on portion, which is to you, it costs 3,000. That can get about 5 based on my services. If you think that I have value during the requirements phase of the project, where I would do what I'm currently doing, which is understanding requirement and try to probe the consultant. Because again, there's a risk the consultant will still try to offer things that they're comfortable with.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. You notice that one question I ask consistently throughout the whole session is customization or configuration, because it makes a cost difference.
Today, when you ask those questions, I was like, wow. I said, wow, something quite different. So I think it was not so easy for us to digest too.
Because over the weekend, Sunday, 我去练功嘛，我上练功 right? Come down, then I got another 招数, you see. I'm also a bit tired of hearing me repeat.
You should. Really, I must tell Rachel, really, this one is wow, you really you really gone through a lot of detail on the.
No, because you must understand that when I do projects, typically I told you the things I buy is at least $500,000.
Yeah.
So that is the process I go about doing that lah.
Wow.
So and it's of course bigger value, longer duration. So I came from that training, that background.
Right, correct.
So I'm a little bit over the board here lah. But I think it's helpful because it really helps us prepare upfront better. Yes. And for me as a consultant, when I consult a company, I tell them this is the way to do it. But this is the first time I'm actually able to work closely with a company. So also there's a sense of satisfaction lah.
Good. Yeah, thank you so much.
So that's additional $3,000, but you need to so-called decide on it, I think, before the end of the year, because our grant is closing. So that's the other thing to talk. So then on my side, I will start compiling a basic report of what I've done, because I need to file to Rachel and site. It's actually nothing surprising. It's all those things I've been sharing with you, all the notes and so on. I'll organize them to show some kind of documentation lah.
Okay.
Then later on, I need you to do a sign off, that kind of thing. And then if you want to drop a Rachel to say something about me, so thank you very much as well.
No, I'll definitely do that.
Yeah. Okay. So again, after that, even if you don't engage me or whatever, if you have any questions, just call me. And if I can answer that, I'll try to give you some advice. Yeah.
Actually, Chipei, since you're on the line, I understand you're a master degree holder also, right?
In training and development, yeah.
Oh, master, is it not MBA lah? It's master's.
Not MBA. So my degree was in mechanical engineering. I specialized in industrial engineering, but I went to logistics because at the time that was the happening thing. And actually, I mean you're in this engineering field, but in Singapore, engineering field is not much prospects lah.
Last time lah. That's
even now. So
now it's quite different.
No. For mechanical engineers, because we don't really do a lot of manufacturing here, they require more technicians than degree holders. A lot of my mechanical engineer friends, the only place they can make real money is oil and gas. But in the last 5 years, oil and gas is terrible, correct? Yes. And then after that, it's either go banking, insurance. So there aren't many manufacturers in Singapore that do design R&D that requires graduate engineers, you see. So I went to supply chain because that was my scholarship bond was tagged to Sembcorp Logistics. And that was the time when a lot of things happened, very exciting times.
Okay.
Then I went to consulting in IT because in logistics I was doing a lot of IT projects.
Oh, okay.
And now I just enjoy teaching and doing consulting projects, so I can have more work-life balance. Yeah.
Good.
Because I'm a simple person.
Yeah, I think basically, I think you're definitely very suitable for this job. But it's always not easy to stop the course, but you have to be very firm with them. No choice. Decision has been made, and you always, basically the best way of telling them is, I mean, you are a consultant for us. This is the customer end user's decision. So there's nothing you can do.
Oh, no problem. I have no problem saying no to them. It's just that I'm surprised they call me so fast. I was on my way for the next meeting. They call me, my phone keep ringing. I was like, then I quickly message, okay, I'll talk to you at this time. Because you don't talk to them, they keep calling you, I know. So after they hear my voice, first of all, they thank me for receiving their call.
Yes, of course.
So they hear my voice, I explain to them, I tell them, it's the chemistry lah. We must have chemistry, you see.
Correct.
Yeah.
Chemistry is so important in sales and not just in sales, in everywhere. Not just sales, in everything, even technical consulting, anything is, you know, the impression, the first impression counts a lot. No
I
matter.
definitely want to invite you to come and do a short master class in sales for my students.
I'm not eligible. Like
No,
that,
like just share 10-15 minutes,
I mean,
that kind of thing. Okay. Okay. We'll talk about it another time.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tomorrow I'll talk to Rowena, understand requirement, then I'll send to
Okay.
Avon. I will get some schedule for next week. Then we arrange to visit them in Commonwealth.
Yep.
See them, size them up. Then from there we decide whether we want to talk to MSC again.
Yeah, I think it will be good if you can, Chipping, is to really send them the questions because they
do that, definitely.
Yeah, please do that. And basically, whatever questions back they want to know, please ask them to ask us back so that this week they can more or less prepare. So when we go down there, we have more or less like something that they've already prepared, which I think is good because with this preparation, is not lose. If they are selected, they are actually already making a head start.
And I'll do that, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we limit the number of people to 3 of us lah. The rest of people will dial in lah.
Yeah, sure. I think that will be better. Okay, Ken.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Okay,
have a nice day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.